What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to be listening to first responders. First responders reveal the truth about their job. I don't know how many people really stop and think about all the gruesome, just think about the worst possible stuff that these first responders, police officers, firefighters have to see. And these are human beings. And it's not like they're robots. They're like the rest of us. Except they have to see death every day. Sometimes they have to see disgusting things every day. Like car accidents, decapitation, faces crushed in, bones broke. They just think of anything. Suicides. First responders, not just first responders, but police officers and firefighters. But it's mainly first responders. Isn't that like, now that I think about it, it's not just EMTs. It's like police officers, firefighters, EMTs. Unless I'm wrong, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine the mental health and how they go through their daily lives, their families, and just because once you see something, you can't unsee it. You gotta be a different type of breed. Anyways, respect first and foremost to first responders. Respect to you. God bless you. But let's hear from first responders. First responders reveal the truth about their job.
This group of first responders was asked the following perception box question. What need inside of yourself have you been neglecting? These are their answers. This is Circle of Secrets.
Mental health.
I feel like I can't be a good father with this job.
If this is your secret and you would like to step forward and share your story, you can do so on 3. 1, 2,
There's 12 people.
3.
Strong.
My sons have 4 boys, and we were all kind of just joking one night, and I was just looking around, and I was like, you guys have had way more than I've ever had growing up. I've been able to give you everything I never had. What more can you ask for? Kind of just like joking around. And my oldest son kind of looked at me and said, you could have been there more. And, I kind of looked at him. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't smiling. I could kind of tell he was really serious when he said it. And it got me to kind of reflecting on my career and my life. I work 24 hours and I'm off for a couple of days. Your kids have events. My sons play sports. They're in the band. They have certain things that they would like for me to be there. And sometimes I can't because I'm working. Or sometimes I'm just too tired. Or
I understand the kids a first responder's point of view, but you have to understand, you know, your parents' jobs. Professional wrestlers, they see their kids like 3 times a year. You know, pro basketball players, NFL players, baseball players. But most of all, when you're an EMT, you gotta understand your dad's job or your mom's job. And I understand completely where they're coming from. I'm not taking sides, but I don't know, if I had a dad or a mom who was a first responder, it would hurt a little bit, not a lot, because I would be like, well, they're saving people's lives, and I understand completely. I would like to know how old his son is, but you know what? Let's see what else he has to say.
To be honest, man, sometimes I'm not in the mood, to be perfectly honest. Depending on how the day was before. Kind of went one way as far as being the provider, not really picking up on the other half as far as the time that they need with me. And you know, my oldest son will be 17 this year, and it's like I say, just thinking about all the time and where it went.
That's another thing. I mean, first responders, they work so many hours. How many times have you stopped and thought, you know, these people are missing time with their kids, you know, their husbands, their wives. Because first responder, like he said, you know, he works 24 straight hours and then gets 2 days off. How many people really stop and think? Not just what they see with their eyes and it being up here for the rest of their lives, but them helping people every day. Anytime you hear an ambulance, you know, those are EMTs that are working and missing a lot of time with their husbands, their wives, kids, if they have any.
Went and trying to make up for the times that I have missed.
Now, if you can relate to the secret, you can step forward on 3. 1,
There has to be
3.
almost all of them. 1, 2, just 2?
You may turn around.
3.
It hit home to me when you said your son's 17. My
4.
son's 18, she's going to college. And I miss so much with this job. I always had the money, and my kids are okay. My daughter's a horseback ride, have a great life, but I wasn't there, like, to support them and watch them. I missed a lot of stuff because I missed so many Christmases and Thanksgivings and New Year's, and
Great timing. Great timing. My internet just went out. Oh, Comcast, I swear. They sent me 2 new a modem and something else I gotta hook up. I'm gonna pause it, and when it comes back on, I'm gonna finish the video. Stay tuned. See if I can keep this pose. And we're back. Finally. Oh, Comcast, I swear. I have like the lowest rated package of that's not true. That part. Why did I say that? Why did I Oh, jeez. Anyways, I pay around, or I don't, my mom pays for it because I don't have any money. I don't have any income, like my subscribers know. But my mom pays almost $200 a month. And the lowest services that they offer, that's what I have. And then they charge my mom around $200 a month. In 15 months when my contract's done, I've already talked to my mom about it. We're switching. We're switching. Do not get Comcast. Do not. It wouldn't surprise me if the internet went out again. Anyways. See if you can see anything different behind me. Something's different from before my internet went out, and I'm back now. Something's different. Write in the comments if you can tell what's different. Let's get back to this. Very important. First responders reveal the truth about their job.
It hit home to me when you said your son's 17. My daughter's 18. She's going to college. And I miss so much with this job. I always had the money, and my kids are okay.
Former NYPD. So first responders aren't just EMTs.
My daughter's horseback ride. They have a great life, but I wasn't there to support them and watch them. I missed a lot of stuff because I missed so many Christmases and Thanksgivings and New Year's, and I don't know what the balance is, but the way my head was like, well, they have everything they want, but they don't have you. So that's the whole problem.
Yeah, I actually had this conversation with my...
You know, they grew up with, he said, you know, my kids had horses and if you grow up with a father or a mother that's a first responder and you're growing up with knowing that they love you more than anything in the world, I just don't see how you can complain. I know you want your parents, you know what, it's like, now that I'm thinking about it, when parents are there, parents that work 9-to-5 jobs, how many kids disrespect their parents and say, you know, get mad and say, I hate you, run up to their room or whatever. But, yeah. Retired sheriff deputy.
my wife yesterday. Now that I'm retired, I've told her stories about working in law enforcement, the hours that I worked. Literally every holiday I'd be working overtime. And she looked me straight in the eyes and said, I don't think I could be with you if you were still in law enforcement. Just due to the fact that you wouldn't be able to be here for our son.
Yeah, I'm not a father, but I'm a mother.
Wait, his wife?
Me straight in the eyes and said, I don't think I could.
So much with their like support them and watch them. I missed a lot of stuff because I missed so many Christmases and Thanksgivings and New Year's, and I don't know what the balance is, but the way I when my head was like, well, they have everything they want, but they don't have you. So that's the whole.
Yeah, I actually had this conversation with my wife yesterday. Now that I'm retired, I've told her stories about working in law enforcement, the hours that I worked. Literally every holiday I'd be working overtime. And she looked me straight in the eyes and said, I don't think I could be with you if you were still in law enforcement. Just due to the fact that you wouldn't be able to be here for our son.
Yeah.
Are you serious? I want to know, before they got married, if she knew that he was a police officer. It said former deputy sheriff. Because if you marry someone who's a first responder and then you get upset that they're not there enough, F you. F you. You know what you're signing up for. If you marry a professional wrestler and they wrestle 330 days a year, you know what you're signing up for. Same with any job that requires you to be gone from home the majority of the year. You know what you signed up for. If you don't like it, don't marry someone who's a first responder. Plain and simple.
I'm not a father, but I'm a mother. I'm a single mother.
Firefighter.
And I think what adds more stress to that is, I'm willingly putting my life in danger, which could take my life. And now my son is without a mother. But then I come back to my experience, and I hope this resonates with you guys or helps you guys. Like my dad wasn't around all the time either, being an officer in the military. He was constantly on deployments. And I kind of had a little resentment, like, Dad, you're missing this, you're missing that. But then when I got older, then I realized, oh man, my dad's he's awesome because he sacrificed so much to make sure that I had everything I needed to be successful. And then now that I'm a parent, I really hope, and I hope your children too can look back and be like, although Dad wasn't there all the time, I know he truly loved me, because it takes a really strong, compassionate, loving individual to take time away from their own family to help other people's families.
Nurses,
As much
doctors,
as we're special people for doing this job, there has to be a special family that allows us to do this job.
firefighter, paramedic.
I was told early on, there's an incredibly high infidelity rate with our job. There's incredibly high divorce rates. It takes a special person to be the spouse.
There's a incredibly high divorce rate. For people who are first responders. Never smoke. Smoker's cough. In high school, I never drank because I didn't want to become an alcoholic. I'll be 9 years sober in October. I never wanted to smoke because I didn't want everything that went with it. And cigarettes have replaced alcohol. Mental illness, depression, anxiety, and other mental illnesses. But You can get through it. If I can stop drinking, actually I was forced to, because I almost died. Don't let it get to that point. And if you're thinking about vaping or cigarettes, just stay away. I beg you, please. The divorce rate, like he said, is high among first responders. It shouldn't be. Unless, well, no, because you have to go to college to become EMT, firefighter, police academy for police officers. If you marry someone who's a first responder and you say, I can't take it anymore, I want a divorce, shame on you. Shame on you. Same thing with the military or nurses or doctors. They work long hours to save people's lives, to try and save people's lives. I would never ever divorce if I was married to someone who was a first responder. Scared out of my mind. If they were a firefighter, police officer, the death rate for EMTs, I don't think it's that high. The firefighters, police officers, I would be scared out of my mind. I would support them, never divorce them, unless they cheated on me. But I would be there, because I know what I got myself into. Kids is different, I understand. I think you need to, at a young age, maybe 4 or 5, say, Daddy's not going to be around as much because I'm saving lives. Daddy's a hero. He's a superhero. Mommy's a superhero. I'm Wonder Woman, or whoever you want to say.
Of a first responder, it takes a special person to be the son of a first responder, and for you to be able to at least keep your family together in the same house to where they're respecting you, it sounds like you're doing a great job, so appreciate it.
I used to purposely get into physical fights at work just to deal with the stress and anxiety from my job.
What?
From my job.
So appreciate it.
I used to purposely get into physical fights at work just to deal with the stress and anxiety from my job.
Taking it out on others?
This is what we've trained for, people.
What does he
I
do?
was part of the emergency response team that whenever there was a highly combative.
Oh, it's one of the guys that stood up behind the black guy, talking about who had the wife who said, I wouldn't still be with you if you hadn't retired. Alex, the retired sheriff deputy. I used to purposely get into fights at work just to deal with the stress and anxiety from my job. See, that's wrong. That's wrong. If he was doing that to co-workers, did he ever take it out on his wife? Hopefully he says he's getting help. He's in therapy. 'Cause that's just wrong.
Combative inmate, whenever there was somebody with a weapon in their cell, I was the first person to go in, and I love doing that. That was my adrenaline rush. I just go into work, I could be having a bad day, and hope that I was part of the emergency response team that whenever there was a highly combative inmate, whenever there was somebody with a weapon in their cell, I was the first person to go in, and I love doing that. That was my adrenaline rush. I just go into work, I could be having a bad day, and hope that someone would test me, hope that someone would take a swing at me or want to throw hands with me just to get that anger out. And looking back on it now, anger is not the only way to release your emotions. It was just the easiest way and the quickest way to, I guess, kind of get that emotional high to be like, okay, cool, whatever's going on, I can forget about it. I can focus on this highly volatile situation. Once it's over, I'm going to feel better. I never did feel better. I was just on a warpath for self-destruction. Actually, a fight was what ended my career. Now that I'm a father, now that I'm a husband, I look back on it, I'm like...
So he didn't really retire. A fight got him fired, or he was told to resign because of a fight. See, he's the type of police officers that make other police officers look bad. He said he liked roughing up, inmates or people brought in that were being combative, and and he was fired from his job for it. Retired, yeah. You were fired or told to resign, which happens so many times when there's corrupt police officers or whatever, or something happens. They're given respect, or say, we'll say, instead of firing you, you can just come out and say, I'm going to resign, or I'm going to retire. It's stupid. It's guys like this that make good police officers who aren't racist, who aren't sexist, look bad.
I could have sacrificed so much of my life just to look for that emotional high that it's not even worth it. It doesn't make sense now because now I have gone to therapy, I have addressed everything, but there's a lot more work that can be done within law enforcement to address mental health, to address depression, anxiety, PTSD, because it still is a stigma with it.
Yes. I'm glad he said all that stuff. The government needs to do something. I'm surprised they don't offer former Marines, armed forces. Almost all of them suffer from PTSD. And a lot of them become homeless because of it. There should be the armed forces, police officers, EMTs, firefighters, they should all be given automatic free medical health care. PTSD is a serious thing. I don't have it. Yeah, I don't have it. But you could be sleeping and just wake up in a cold sweat. You watching TV and just start going crazy. Start getting angry because you have flashbacks. But does the government care? It's like they're, it's like sweatshops. They don't care.
Than law enforcement.
I'm gonna pause it there. Coughing, smoker's cough. When I talk for a long time, I gotta drink a lot of water. But yeah, if you notice the change in the back from when I had to pause it because my internet went out, stupid Comcast. Leave it in the comments. But I love all you guys, like always and forever. Take care, be safe, peace everyone.